I hope you have some kind of browser in front of you, right? Where you can write few line of code. I think that will suffice. Those who are in front of their laptop, open any browser, preferably Remix, and I hope you have MetaMask installed, right? So this is how MetaMask extension look like. Correct, and I have say Ganache installed with me. So those who have not installed, I can give another say 5 minutes to install these two tools, right? So Ganache is your local node, local Ethereum node, right? So for the development, right, you don't want to connect to any Rinkyby or Opston or any mainnet. You just want to develop locally, right? So you run your network or node locally. So this is what Ganache will do. So it's a 100 MB file. So just do the Google, download this Ganache. And for Chrome, just install MetaMask plugin, right? So once these two items are installed, then we can go into the development. While you are doing so, a few things what we are planning to do. If you see this site, it's pretty much look like an IDE, right? So if you see, many of you might have come across a Visual Studio Code, NetBeans, Eclipse, right? But nowadays you see concept of WebID, right? You don't need a local integrated development environment. You can use your web browser as a your development environment, right? So this is where Remix solves the problem in Solidity, where it has given you a online web ID, right? So if you go to this URL remix https //remix.ethereum.org, you will see this screen, right? So and it has a workspace for you where you can create a contract, write scripts, write tests, right? And then you have a compiler also. We have so many compilers, right? So you can choose your compiler version and then you can compile your Solidity code. And once that is done, then you have, okay, let me clean this up. Your deployment also, right? So we'll go through each of these things. Debugger is there, but those who are coming from line by line debugging, right? So those Java guys, JavaScript guys, right? They just do click, and then they can jump line by line, right? I have not found at least this debugging is that much mature for different reasons, right? Because in your code reside on your desktop, and then you do the line by line debugging, and this is happening in the binary, right? So the debugging experience that you have for other code base will not be similar here. But apart from that, this ID provides you everything. And we have not come across that is anything near to what Remix is providing. In DLT Labs tools team, we have a separate small team that is working to provide such tools also. We have our own CLI, like you can use Truffle, right? Those who don't want to use the ID, they can always use the command line interface. For that, we are preparing our own CLI name ELI. Similarly, we will have our own web version, alternative web version for the Remix ID, but that will take a month or 2 months time. So that is in the future. For now, we will stick with the Remix ID, and this is, I think, 90% of the people do their Solidity code. So I will take a minute more. I think people are still maybe installing Ganache and MetaMask, right? So after that 1 minute, we can start writing some code. So I am planning at least two coding exercise. One is nothing that will only demonstrate how to update the state in a blockchain, right? And how to get the state out of the blockchain, right? So it will give you a high level structure of how to write your first Solidity code. Second will be more interesting, where we will use a third-party library to create a token or say cryptocurrency, and then we will game it, right? We will hack with the help of inheritance, and we will hack one of its transfer method where the transfer will happen, but only the partial transfer will happen, right? So what it means is ideally, if I'm transferring say 10 Ethereum to say Mac, only 9 will reach to Mac and 1 will reach to me, right? So we will play with those kind of codes. So these are the two coding exercise that we will go through. And I think we will not shoot more than 6:45, right? We will try to close it within that period of time. Right, so another 30 seconds and then we'll start. And if you got any one of you needs more time to install these tools, let me know. I can wait for a few more minutes. So one guy has raised hand. So who is this person? So Faiz and Naseem, you need more time, is it? You can anytime
Sir,
open.
we are installing Ganache.
Okay. Okay, I think we can start, right? Okay, so the first example will be very simple. It's a kind of a hello world example with few more changes. So if you see, right, if you are seeing this ID for the first time, this is your workspace. Get familiar with the tools, right? You have different tools where you can play with. So contract folder should have your actual Solidity contract, right? There are other tests and other things, script. So in case if you want to write a script to do certain automation or write a test, you can use this directory. But for today's purposes, we will only write some vanilla smart contract, right? So for the hello world, I will say hello world.sol, right? So if you remember a few things, right? The structure of, say, our smart contract start with license identifier, right? If you don't use it, it will give you a warning, not an error, but we will use it. The second piece was pragma, right? So pragma is a hint to your compiler that this file should be compiled with this version or this version range only, right? Third is a contract actually, and given we are going to deploy this contract, we need to have some kind of a constructor. And this example only talks about simple hello world, where we will write our hello world to the blockchain database and read it from the blockchain database, right? So we will have a couple of methods, one constructor and two method, one to update, another to get the value from the database. Okay. So as I said, first is your license, license identifier. So it's a SPDX license identifier, right? So I think license also small. So even if you don't put it, a compiler will only give warning. It will not stop your code to learning. So it can have multiple license identifier like Apache or MIT or unlicensed, right? For this demo purposes, it is nothing. So I will keep it as unlicensed, right? Uh, then I said the second piece is your important piece, which basically tells compiler which version this code is, right? So given already changes a lot. So if you try to use a different compiler to compile your any version, then it will not pick it, right? So before you get into that trouble, it's better to tell compiler which version you are in. So at this point of time, I think Solidity in 08, right? So I will take all the version of 0. So this is how you provide the ranges, right? So you can give only the absolute range, or you can give the range, right? So in this case, anything that is greater than 0 or less than equal to 08, 14. Okay. So this is the second part of the piece. Third, we discuss it will be the actual contract, right? So contract start from the keyword contract, and then give this example hello world itself, right? So now, given we are planning to deploy this uh, code, right, onto blockchain network, so we need to instantiate it, right? The only way you can do it is through some kind of a constructor. And in the constructor itself, we want to ensure that the very first time, if we are deploying our contract, I want to write something to the blockchain database or blockchain state, right? So we will create one variable, say message, right? What is that? The hello world message. So this is a public message because we want to read it from the state also, right? So that is where the identifier is public, visibility identifier, and the keyword is message. Okay, and at the time of deployment, this is my constructor. Okay, so my constructor will take a string, the original message, right? So this string can be my initial message at the time of deployment, right? And the state, right? So I told our contract has a state variable, right? So this actually go into the blockchain database, right? So what I said is at the time of deployment only, I want to deploy my, I want to update my state, right? So this in this case, what I will do is message equal to the initial message, the message that I passed during the deployment, right? And this constructor can be public because we want to deploy it, right? So we need to access to this constructor. We will come to this error later. Let's build what we are planning to build, right? Now, so come to this piece. I said in the future also, right? We want to update the message. So I have set the message at the time of deployment. Let's create a function that basically update the message, right? So update message here. When you're updating it, certainly you need some kind of update message, right? And of course, this will also be public, correct? And here the message equal to the update message that we have passed, right? Nothing great about it. A simple thing that we are doing. We have created a update message that is a public function that takes the message from the user and update the blockchain state. Okay, so we will see this in action in some time. Now, after updating and at any point of time, right, I want to see the state of that message, right, the value in that message. For that, we'll create a read message. So get msg, right? So this is also public because we want to read it. This is view. Those who know, we have view, pure, extern, right? Those kind of identifier. So this basically tells this call is not updating anything, right? This call is basically only reading from the blockchain database. That's why view. and then it returns what is it is returning. It will type, right, and it will return our message. So simple hello world kind of a thing, but we will see what is happening. 3 errors. We will come to the errors later. Again, let me rephrase. This is your license, right? This is community decided that every contract will have some kind of a license identifier, MIT, Apache, or some custom license. For our case, we are happy with unlicensed. This basically tells us the current Solidity code is compliant for the compiler version 080 to 0814. And then we have hello world contract, right, with the state variable, with a single simple state that store a string, right? And what we are doing is just to demonstrate, we are showing that at the time of deployment, you can set that initial state. And at any point of time, there is a public method. You can set the update message and it will update the blockchain database, right? And in future also, you can always get the value from the blockchain. Okay, so simple thing, but we see even we wrote say 16, hardly 16 line. If I remove the blank lines, hardly 13, 14 lines, right? And we got 3 errors, right? Let's see what we have missed. So if you come here, right, it gives you warning and error. We will not deal with say warning at this point of time. We will only fix error, right? So it doesn't mean that you don't do it. Please do it. But for the demo purposes, we will only take errors, right? So in this case, if you see, it is saying line 717, right? So 717 is this. What it is saying? Data location must be storage or memory, right? So I told you in say in our theory class, right? That boring theory class, that all the in the function parameter, right? We have to tell where we want to keep our function parameter, right? So it is saying it has to be either storage or memory, right? So we will keep it say memory for this. You can try to keep other and see if you see any other error, right? Now one error has been removed. If I put memory, let's see what the second error say, right? For constructor, it is giving me only memory and storage, right? So this is a homework for you. But for function, right, line 11 and 18. So line 11 is this. It is saying, it is not saying memory or storage. Now it has changed its wordage to say memory or call data, right? So just go through just at home, right? Take it as a homework. Why we cannot have a call data in constructor, right? So that's an important observation here, and I will throw it up to you guys to figure out why Solidity is doing that. For that also, I am keeping it say memory, right? If I save it, I have one error left, and for that also it is saying line 1444. Saying the same thing, that the return parameter should have something, right? Return parameter in the function should have memory and cal data, right? So we are playing with memory. Let's play with memory only. Okay, so far so good. Those who are very clean programmer fix these error also at your site, right? Not error, basically the warnings, right? So warning will not block us in compiling our code or deploying our code, right? So I'm good. So right. So at this point of time, we will come to the deploy function, right? Here you can compile it. There will be no error, only the 2 warnings, right? So if something is red, then it is error. If something is say orange or saffron, then it is the only warning. In this case, we will go to the deployment. Not written. I am just copy pasting it here so that you can also paste it, right? So I will wait for a minute actually, so that we don't I mean, people don't remain behind. So my chat is not coming up, so give it some time. Okay, now I can say it, right? So in case those who are lagging behind, right, they can copy paste this code and they can do certain other steps also. So let me know once you are done. If anyone needs say extra minute, then I can wait for a minute before we start deploying it and playing it with the MetaMask. You can raise your hand in Teams. Okay. So no hands means everyone is at this stage, right? So here important thing, here if you see you have multiple things, right? So here we will use the injected Web3, right? So your browser, if your MetaMask is installed, right, it has injected a Web3 object. And if you want to connect your code, right, to that object, you can select injected Web3 here, right? So as soon as you select it, it will connect to your network, right? So in this case, your network is Ganache, right? So those who know how Ganache look like, I think those who have installed it, just launch your Ganache, right, and ensure you have selected Ganache into it, right? So if I say add network, you will have a Ganache somewhere, right? So in different network, right, you will one of your network will have Ganache, right? And then once you click save it, your network is available. So I hope you are on this page. If you are not, open up your mic and let me know where you are stuck. So I assume that you are able to connect your MetaMask with Ganache.
Sir,
Yes, Face.
sir, please return to the code. There is an error running in my one.
What is the error?
It says that initial message is not is undeclared identifier.
This one?
In line.
Which version you are using in compiler?
Okay, I get it.
Got it. Okay, so ensure that your compiler version is in range of this. This is the purpose of your Pragma. So again, right, I want everyone to configure their MetaMask with Ganache, right? Once you configure your Ganache, your configuration will look like this. Those who want to do it, they can click on add network, right? And then they can provide the network details, right? Like Ganache, chain ID and all those things. Okay. So from here, what we'll do, guys, we will try to deploy it, right, as I promised. So here, once I compile, all the compile code will be available here. Of course, my constructor take one initial message. I think someone is messaging me on the chat box. Let me see what they are asking. I don't know, my Teams is behaving very slow, so give me a second. Okay, that thing is taking time. So what I was saying is, once you click inject, right, so it will automatically connect to the network, right? So in this case, it is connected to your Ganache with the chain ID 5777, right? So if I say use Ganache, right? If I bring up the Ganache and settings, right? So if I say server, so network ID is 5777, right? So if you see what I have here, right? Once I injected my code, so here my custom network is 577, right? It means my MetaMask is connected to my Ganache, and my remix ID is able to connect to that Web3 object. Okay. So so Pranav has posted one error So if you look carefully, you have not put a semicolon, right? So it is clearly saying, please ensure there is a trailing semicolon, right? So your error message itself crying out very loud that you have missed a semicolon at the end of your pragma identifier. Okay. Unable to connect to Ganache MetaMask. Anand Gupta, can you open up your mic and show me what is happening? Okay, so can someone share your screen also? Mac, is it possible if someone can share his screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Anand, share your screen then. I have it installed long back, but I think it was very easy. So can someone share? Yeah. So here, if you okay, can you bring it in one piece? Yeah. So port number is 745, right? Great. Can you go to add network? Yeah, add network. Yes. Here put Ganache, Ganache, right? New RPC URL is http:// H is small, please. And http not O ://127.0.0.1 colon the port number it is running 7545, right? Chain ID, I think this is network ID. Your chain ID should be, let me tell you what will be your chain ID. Ganache, right? My Ganache. So let me give you the chain ID. So Ganache chain ID is 1337 if you have not updated it. Yes. No. So in the new RPC URL :port, you have not given port. I guess everyone is doing the same, right? No. Colon, the port number is 7545. Colon 7545. That is not comma, right? It's colon. IP and IP colon port. Two points, right? Colon is 2 points. Yes. So your used by the localhost. So you type 8545. So your network is in the error it is saying, right? Put 8545. The RP serial and return a chain ID. Now it is 1337. Put the original one 1337.
Sir, I think we need to delete the localhost 8545 network and then add this one.
You have a local host network. Go to the network again. How many networks you have? You don't have any network, right? Go to the network. In the left side, there is a network.
So it shows that error, but it doesn't really mean anything. Once you save it, it will automatically update it.
Okay, come out of that text box, go to the blockchain. Click there. It is not doing in his case, right? There is something different happening here. The chain ID is currently used by localhost 8545 network. First, we need to figure out what is this 8545 network.
So it showed me the same error, but mine is working.
Maybe he has something else. Close it and open it again. I don't know who is the presenter here. Type again Ganache. HTTP ://127.0.0.1 :7545 127.0.0.1 colon 7545. Now 1377 in the chain ID. 1337. No, sorry, I may have called it wrong. 1337. So you have some already. You have existing network that is using this chain ID. What is that network? Can you click that Ethereum mainnet dropdown? Can you click show and hide the test network? Did you hide your test network? Anyone facing the similar issue apart from the person who's sharing the screen?
Sir, and I had the same error, and I just went to the networks and deleted the localhost 8545, and then it worked.
Can you do the same? But he doesn't have localhost 8545. Can you guide Satvik?
Sir, here click on the networks. Below alerts. Yeah, here you can see localhost 8545. Just click on it and then delete it. Click on the localhost. You have currently selected Ethereum main.
Enter screen. Go to the bottom. Yeah.
Then delete on the bottom left. Yeah.
Your 1337 is used here.
Yeah. So now you can add the other network.
Now you add it. HTTP, you can put http://127. :7545. Chain ID is 1337. Yeah. Now, why it is not giving again?
The currency symbol will be ETH.
Put anything. Put ETH. I think it should automatically take. Just save it. Okay, so now your MetaMask is configured, right? So do one more thing. Go to your Ganache. Everyone, this is applicable for everyone, right? I hope everyone is here. Few might got have stuck where at the same stage where Anand has stuck. But I think once you delete your existing network that is using 1337, this will work. Now the second piece is you have to import an account, right? Just click on cancel, Anand. No, so in the left side on Ganache, do a quick restart. Now click on the key, right? On the right side, there is a key. Yes. Copy the private key, right click and copy, select, right click and copy. Go to your MetaMask, click on that yellow orange kind of thing, right on the top, right? Yes. Import account, import account, paste it there. Okay, just say import. So this has 100 ETH, right? So if you see your Ganache, right, that also show 100 ETH, right? So now your MetaMask has an account that is connected to your Ganache that has money. Just click done. Okay. So this will come into the picture when we will do say second exercise where we will try to deploy a coin, and we will try to basically hack into one of the transfer method where we will split the money among ourselves and not give 100% transfer. So I hope everyone has done it, right? And everyone has one account in MetaMask where it has some value, right? In this case, it has 100 ETH. Okay, so now I will continue with where we were. I don't know where we were. So we were at deploying it, right? So our Solidity code has compiled with some warnings. You can fix your warning at your personal time. But as I said, for the deployment, you cannot just deploy without any argument. This guy needs one parameter. So in this case, we will have initial message. This is what, this is webinar, right? So hello webinar, right? So what we will do is, or let me put hello webinar. So transact, right? So given this is a transaction, right? So these are important steps, right? So if you realize what is happening, how the transaction is happening, then you will realize most part of blockchain and Solidity also, right? In this case, what is happening is after compilation, right? We are trying to deploy that code to the blockchain, right? So blockchain has two things. It has state, but it also deploy the code also, right? So in this case, we are trying to deploy the code and updating the state also, right? So when I'm trying to deploy something on the blockchain, there is a cost, right? So in this case, the cost is 0.007674 ether, right? So and I am okay to pay it, so I will confirm it, and it says confirm transaction. Transaction is confirmed, right? So what has happened? Let's see here, right? So if I say here, so it has said from, it has gone to hello world constructor, right? With the initial message hello webinar, right? So based on what I am claiming, let's see whether it is happening or not, right? So now we will try to pull the data from blockchain state, right? What we have written to the blockchain. So in this case, say I click on message, right? So it says currently the state of variable is hello webinar, right? So at the time of deployment also I put hello webinar. Okay. Then I put get message. Get message also return the current message value. So far so good. Now see if I am able to update that message or not. Right. So in this case, I will say hello webinar to say hello the person who was stuck, say Anand Gupta, right? And again, I'm not only reading the data, I'm basically committing the data back to the blockchain. So every time there is a change, there is something to be returned into the blockchain, right? There will be a cost because everyone has to write it. So everyone has to do certain work, and that work will have some kind of a cost, right? And that cost is nothing but your gas fee or transaction fee, right? So here your transaction fee this time is very less, dot triple zero 62248 Ethereum, right? It's less than the contract because contract was big. This invocation is small, right? So once I confirm it, right? So it has done it. It has given me the green tick. Now let's see what my get message returns, right? Get message should return the new value that is hello Anand Gupta, right? So if I put hello Anand Gupta, it has given me the hello Anand Gupta, and given this is a public, I can directly access the message also. Again, it will give me the latest update that I have done, right? So this is a simple hello world example, guys. The purpose of this example was to see a few things, right? Your first contract at high level, what is the syntax? Setting up your Ganache, setting up your MetaMask, right? And doing few transactions into the blockchain database and reading data from the blockchain data, right? So you have achieved so much with a simple example, right? Very simple, but very handy example. We'll take a minute stop, and then we will go to the second piece that is your creating your own coin, right? So in that I will walk you through how to import a third-party library, how to inherit a method, right? And how to tweak a method so that I can pass a percentage amount of currency to my account and then pass it to say someone else, right? Those who are able to complete it so far, can you raise your hand? So Satvik, you have done. Anand, you have done. Okay, 6. Madan, Himanshu, Arush, Swapnil. Okay. So we'll wait for a minute. I'm not sure that others are also trying or not, or they are stuck. But we can take few example where you guys have stuck, so that if other people are also at the same stage, they can also solve their issue. Anyone who has stuck and wants some help, open up your mic, share your screen. So Anand, you are stuck again. Okay, so he has withdrawn. Okay, so far so good. Let's see how to create your own cryptocurrency, right? And try to be able in the sense that you are writing a malicious smart contract that is trying to leak money from a transaction. Okay, so in this case, let's call token coin. I don't know, webinar coin. Let's say webinar coin dot. With our AJAX identifier, right? License identifier. In this case, again, I don't want any license. Again, new. We have done it in last 08, right? Be less than equal to the 0814. I think this is the last range in 8 series. Right. Write my own ERC20 code. Someone has already done it. One of the project, right, that people use is OpenJavelin project, right? So it gives basically all the famous contracts, right? DeFi, security tokens, and in token, right? Of it, cryptocurrency, they follow one standard that is called ERC20. Okay, so we will only use this ERC20. So this is how it look like. This is a contract that depends on context, ERC20 and IRC metadata. That's something that's for some other day, right? So this is already done. We will try to utilize this third-party library, and we will try to override few functionality, right? So this is what we'll do. Will import it, right? For I need to import it. So ID provide that functionality where I can import. Say the open Javelin, I think is correct. And open Javelin contracts. So I'm copy pasting the last two pieces. Remix from open Javelin, go to contracts, go to token, go to ERC20, and import ERC20.sol, right? So everything that has parent. Why screen has frozen? Is it my screen or everyone? What everyone is saying, guys? Can someone confirm? Nasreen, what your
screen was frozen to a GitHub page for the last 2 minutes.
Oh. Okay, let me reshare. I am at Remix ID, not at. Okay,
yes,
sorry.
Now the screen has switched, but it was frozen for a few minutes.
Okay. Okay, so I will repeat what I've said in last 2 minutes. I was saying it. We will learn how to import a third-party library. This is a very important framework that open community has maintained where they have written their well audited and tested secure code, right? Standards, right? So one of the standards is ERC20. So this ERC20 standards has certain specification. If you follow that specification, then you are compatible with ERC20. It means you are a cryptocurrency or you are a token, right? So we will not write this ERC20 because this third party has already written it. We will only try to modify it, right? So let's see what is happening here. So here, what I'm doing is I'm import remix page. Are you guys on the remix page now?
I mean, it's still a blue screen, but yeah, it's on remix.
Okay. And if there is something wrong, right? Well, let me reshare it. That will be a better way. Okay. So this is how
Push it just a second.
import it.
It's still
right?
loading. It's still kind of a black screen.
Okay.
It's still loading. Yeah, it's a black screen, Purushottam. I think you should reshare once again.
It's visible to me. I can see the remix page.
So Mac, confirm once you are able to see. I mean, not sure it is at your end only or few more people are facing this issue.
People who can see a black screen, can you raise your hands, please? I mean, just raise the hand. Okay, seems to be it's just for me. I hope everyone can see the remix screen, right? I think few people cannot see it. Can you just reshare 1 second, Purushottam? I hope it's okay.
I just did that, Mac.
Yeah, now it is visible. Now I can see it. It's still on the import function, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
perfect.
Now what we'll do is, as I said, I will use this third-party library to create my own token, right? In few lines, and then I will play with one of its function to basically have the transfer function where I will transfer certain amount to certain account and certain amount to the original account, right? So let's start with webinar one. So in this is defined by is available to ERC20, it will become now I need to pass something to the constructor, right? So if I see open Japlin constructor, I am now moved to the GitHub page, right? So its constructor look like this. It takes the name of the coin, right, and the symbol for the coin. So and it doesn't take say how many coin you want to mint it, right? So we will do it in a separate command, right? So constructor, we know what is there, but let's see if there is a mint function, right? Those who read the specification, there is something called mint also, right? So here mint says which account you want to mint and how many you want to mint, right? So this is we will use it to basically fulfill a wallet with say 1 billion token into one account, right? And that will happen only at the time of coin creation, right? But two things before we go to mint, we will fix our constructor. So constructor takes name and symbol, and at same point we have to somehow carry the initial supply also, right? So we will do now. So we will go similar we have done last 256. It's because it's a very long integer. Initial supply is the total supply that one account will have, right? And I say the super constructor or the parent class constructor will need two things, right? What it needs? It needs the token name and the token symbol, right? So token name is say webinar coin, and symbol say I don't know, WCN something, right? We'll use this, right? Now, so this will initialize your parent contract, that is ERC20 contract, with the actual name and the symbol, and it will also have supply, right? I have not supplied the initial supply, right? So let's do that also. So here I have shown that there is a mint function. Screen frozen again. Karthik, is it with everyone that screen is frozen?
Yes, sir. Your screen keeps getting
Guys,
frozen after a few seconds. Like we just see that you have written some code, but we can see it after a minute or two.
Let me change the network. I'm on say 5G. Sorry guys, so I'm back and I'm sharing my screen now. Confirm things are better.
Yeah, we can see the constructor.
So I hope you see more things. Okay, so okay, so I think I lost my thought of chain. Okay, so what I was saying is, so through constructor, I am passing the coin name and coin symbol to the parent thing, right? But I have not minted any token or any coins to any account, right? So if I see, I move to GitHub page now. If I see the mint signature, right? So mint take which account will hold all those currency and what is the amount, right? So if I use it, I can send all the token that I want to supply to a given account, right? So this is what this function will do. Given we have inherited it, it is available to us. right? So let's use this function, say mint, and we will use a message some magic variables, right? So some of the magic variable was message dot sender, right? So we have done it in our theory classes that it will be there, right? So what I'm saying is the person who is invoking this contract, right? You send all the supply to this, right? So initial supply I'm taking at the time of deployment, right? So I will copy paste this variable and give it to the main function. So what I have done, right? If I take a pause and see what has happened here. Here I have used my parent contract. I have given the name of the coin to the parent contract. I have used a symbol also, right? So most of the coin will have a name and a symbol like Bitcoin and a BTC as a symbol, Ethereum and a ETH as a symbol, right? Similarly, we are using our parent constructor to fulfill those specifications. And I am also taking initial supply, say a couple of hundreds of coin, WCN. WCN is our currency, and setting it to the sender, right? So this is simple. I could have stopped here, right? But I said inheritance gives us capability to override few things, right? So here we will try to override transfer method, right? Now I'm moving from remix to this page, say GitHub page, and I will see how the transfer will look like, right? So transfer basically has to an amount, right? So where you are sending this money to and how much you are sending it to, right? Simple. This is how ideally it should be. Internally, it use underscore transfer that takes from whom to whom and what is the amount, right? But if we override this function, so the outside contract will use our function, not this function, right? And if they are using our function, I can choose to transfer the amount in two different fashion, right? So this is what we will do it right now, right? So the power of inheritance and abuse of inheritance, we will see it in our few lines of implementation. Say function transfer, right? Again, the signature should be same. So this is address to uint, I think it was 256 amount, right? It was public virtual override, right? So virtual and override basically means if virtual is there, it can be overridden by another child contract. Override means you are overriding the method from your parent contract, right? So these are few keywords, and it returns whether your things is successful or not, right? So Boolean, right? So far so great. So if someone is trying to call transfer, right, through MetaMask, we will do, and we will see that it is not using parent transfer, it is using our transfer, right? So here we'll do few things. Say again, we will use our magic variable like message sender, right? Okay, then we have seen there is an inbuilt transfer method. It is not private, so we can use it. Owner, and we want to pass it to amount, right? So here what I will do is I will not pass completely, right? I said I am a thief in between, so I will only pass half. Okay, and other I will pass to a different account, right? So say transfer. Okay, so my spelling is wrong, right? So it should. So again, it will transfer to owner. Two, we will take any account, right? Let's see account which has nothing, right? So take this account that has nothing. So let's pass it to this guy, and the poor guy will get half of every transaction. Okay. Now return true. So once I cheated the transfer, let's return that everything is good, right? So what has happened here? Right. So here what I'm doing is I am overriding it if you see this variable, the transfer from the original contract, right? I am taking the amount rather than sending it to the designated person, right? I am only sending half to that designated person and half to account that I have given here, right? So we'll see whether this will work or not. Okay. So far so good. I just did Control S. Everything is compiled, not even error this time because line number of lines are very few. Compile has worked. Now, those who are interested, they can go into this ABI and bytecode. You can copy and see how it looks like. In theory, you might have seen it. Hello world, we are done. We will now. I think everyone is already injected MetaMask, right? All those integration are well intact. And then we have our webinar coin, right? Again, webinar coin take one initial supply, right? So we will give initial supply. So initial supply has a decimal point, right? So if you see this contract ERC20, it has a decimal point of 18 decimal places, right? What it means is if I give 100, it will not give 100 token. It is give 100 by 10 to power 18, right? So if I have to give, say I will give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, right? So this will be decimal point and this will be your integer point, right? So if I'm forgetting those names, right? There is a Mentisha and there is something. So basically, this ERC20 token is saying that you have 20 decimal points. So that's why when you see a Bitcoin or Ethereum, they have so many decimal in the background, right? So people buy bits and pieces, right? It is coming from this, right? So we will give an initial supply of this, right? So let's see what happens. So once I click a transact, again, because I'm making a change to our system, it is asking, okay, so this is account number 1, right? It doesn't have fund. Which have fund? The latest account that is connected to Ganache. So I will move it to the Ganache, right? So this is my latest account. Now this will have fund. So now fund is there. I will say confirm, right? So it has confirmed and it has deployed, right? So let's see. So it has given all the method from the parent, right? What is the total supply? These many is the total supply, but after decimal point, maybe 999 or 999 will be available. What is symbol? WCN, right? This is the symbol I have given. What is the name? Webinar coin. This has already gone to the blockchain database. How many decimal point? 18, right? I said 18. After that, there is the actual token. Now balance of, right? So let's see what is the balance of our guy. So we have deployed it through this, right? So if I say call, so this is the balance. Now do one thing. Now we will import this coin, right? So this is the address, right? So I can go and click this. So address is copied. Now I will import this coin, right? So remember, this is ETH. You have created your own currency, right? So you have to import your token. So just copy paste your deployed contract address here, right? It will automatically pick your token symbol because it's a standard. It knows where to pick from token symbol and what is the token decimal point. Just click add and it will show you 99.999 is your WCN. So far, so good, right? Now, now I want to do the transfer, right? This is what I promised that I will do some ghapla and I will only transfer half of it, right? So I have this transfer method and I will utilize this, right? So I will take my poor guy, that is account number 1. I will copy paste this poor guy to here, right? And I will give how much? I will give only 19, right? So 9.99 something will come to each account, right? So again, I will do the transaction with the account that has some money, say account 33, right? So let's see. I hope it is connected. Yes, it is connected. Now I will do the transfer, right? Again, we will take a pause and see what could have happened, right? If I use this now, I am saying to account number 1, send $19.99, right? But through my malicious code, I am sending only $9.99 to account number 1, and I am sending. So I have used the same account, right? Oh, that's the problem. 946. No. So I will use the second account. So I have to show you, right? So second account is the GAN account. So I will use this, right? So one account will ideally should have got 19, but I'm not doing that. I'm doing a fraud by sending half of the money to the account designated and half of the money to the account that I want to send. Right? Let's do the transaction and see what I'm claiming is correct or not. It is saying it doesn't have where it is that runtime error. Amount exceed balance, right? Because I have changed the account, so it will not work. So I have to go to the account where the money is. Money is in account 33. Now let's click transact. Now confirm. Right. So this has been successful, right? So you have everything already done, right? You can use Explorer and all those things to see what has happened. But we already have Remix is already providing you so many things that you don't have to do multiple things, right? Now what we will do is we will use our MetaMask to ensure that something has been transferred or not, right? I said account number 1 and account number 2. Let's move to account number 1. In this asset, we have ETH and TKN. We don't have WCN, right? So let's import WCN. So I will copy paste the contract address and say add token, right? I said that out of 19.99, only half has been given. So you see 9.99, right? Your next thing is where is your half token, right? Your half token has gone to account number 2. So your account number 2 is GAN. And here again, you will import the tokens, right? Again, I will copy paste the contract address and I will do, right? So even this account has this token, right? And just to prove that no other account has it, so let's take this account and try to import it. The answer will be 0, right? So 0. So this is a simple thing, but very powerful thing. I am able to show you how to import a third-party contract. I am able to show how to use inheritance, right? And I'm able to show how to do a fraud, right? The last part was only a joke. Don't do any fraud. Right, but you see, right, if you try to keep a contract open-ended and people don't do audit, right, and they start believing this smart contract blindly, these things is very easy to do, right? And this is very